Hello again, everybody. This is Joe Larson and Chuck Schultz. Tonight on the 505 on Racing Show, we're going to talk about some news coming out of the Doug Coby camp. We got some results coming out of the Auto Club Speedway in California. We have some news on the new car that NASCAR is putting out in 2021. And we're also just going to talk some things that are going on in NASCAR when we come back.
Inravio.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Doug Coby, we kind of ended our show last week wondering what was going on with Doug Coby.
I told you something was going to happen,
You
right?
did. You said
What
it.
did I
You
say?
called it. Well, after a winter of questioning about will the 2019 NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour champion will drive in 2020, the six-time champion.
So what's
will.
the answer?
He will drive for himself.
There you go. I knew it was going to
He
happen.
will drive. MS3 Racing, his former team owner, sold 2 of the 3 cars they owned. Coby purchased one of the cars. In fact, he purchased his favorite car, minus a motor.
Makes sense, right?
It made a lot of sense. And I have a feeling this deal didn't come to fruition like this week. I think this was something that was being worked on since November when MS3 sold everything they had except for this one car. Coby's career had him bouncing from team to team due to the lack of solid sponsors. Coby saw success in the Wayne Darling number 52 car before moving over to MS3 Racing's number 2. Coby's crew chief, Phil Moran, been with him
There you
for
go.
a long time at
I
MS3.
said that too. You're
You
not going
sure
to break
did.
that up, right?
And many of the same people will also return. And it's not etched in stone yet, but Mayhew Tools is rumored to be the primary sponsor for Doug Coby
There you go.
in 2020.
Go figure.
Imagine
Who
that.
called that?
You sure did. You know, I was a little speculative of that. Speculative, is that a word?
You know, if you're going to, if you're going to continue and you've had success, you don't, I know it's just a motor. But honestly, even myself, I'd be like, give me the motor.
Yeah,
You know, let's just keep this all together here.
right.
You know, at least for the first year. I know a lot of people don't do that. They get in there like, gangbusters and they change everything. I'm a big fan of getting in there and just riding it out and see what you got.
Yeah.
Especially when you're changing all those things. For the first year.
Yeah.
Whether you're buying a racetrack, a race team, whatever you're doing.
Anything.
Get in there and just ride it out. Let's see, where are we at here? Let's take stock, see where we're at, give it a year. Let's figure out where we are at right now, and then let's make some changes, move ahead, modifications, so forth and so on.
Right.
You know.
And it's not like they're starting from scratch, having to build a car.
Exactly.
This car is already built. It's competitive. It was built around him, so to speak.
You don't even have to change the number and the sponsor.
Nothing.
You get the body panels just the way they are, and you go.
Just go racing.
That's it.
You can't ask for a sweeter deal.
That's it.
Being an owner driver, there are a couple on the series, but not many. There are not many owner drivers.
I'm sure it's a hard task, but I mean, if there was nobody else to step up and buy that team and put him in the seat, then he had to do what he had to do. You're not gonna, when you had success like that, you're not just gonna let it go.
Right. And we had said last week that the team from upstate New York bought 2 of the 3 cars, and the hauler was one of the first things to go. They had a very nice hauler. But, like I said, Mike Somerglio is a full-time accountant, owns an accounting firm. He had his fun.
So the dollars and cents, he knows what's going on there.
He's a businessman.
Absolutely.
He's a businessman.
He had his fun, he's done. At some point, the labor of love gets to be too much, and you have to say, all right.
It does.
Enough.
It does, and you
It's
just
sad,
can't
but it's
have
true.
that.
It's what it is.
And racing, as you know, is a labor of love. It definitely is. Even at the
a
top
lot-
levels.
I was just about to say, at every level. It's something that's, not necessarily a moneymaker, not going to make you rich.
And that's I don't want to say the sad thing, but it's a sport, yet it's a professional sport. When you look at any of the other professional sports that are out there, they're not, participants aren't really true professionals other than the fact that they get paid.
Right, but they also get paid a good number. I mean, how many people, put $25 million, blah, blah, blah. How many race car drivers are pulling down 25 mil?
No, none.
They're making some money. They're probably all the package, between, thanks to Dale Earnhardt, but between all of the sales of the paraphernalia, and the fan gear and things like that, and then sponsorships and what have you, you probably get some kind of money, some extra dollars and cents. A little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. It all adds up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are they making a boatload? I don't know how much is a boatload. I mean,
Depends on the size of the boat.
are we seeing Jeff Gordon still working at the bagel store in the off season, trying to make a couple bucks? You get down there at 5 o'clock to get your, your baker's dozen bagels, and there's Jeff Gordon behind the counter with the apron on because he's trying to pick up a couple extra.
Nah, you're not seeing
Couple
that.
extra
You're not
dollars.
seeing that.
I'm not seeing that, but
And when you look at with some of these guys, and I hate to say the back markers, but the guys don't have the big sponsors and the big teams. Those guys are doing something else during the off season.
yeah, well, they got a side hustle.
Yeah,
they got
without
it.
a doubt.
I mean, because they got to pay the bills.
Yes.
And chances are they may even have a side hustle while they're racing,
And
something to pick up the bills.
many of the drivers, as they say, when they first made it big in the top 3 series, they slept on a lot of couches. They slept in a lot of cars.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at
Slept
that.
in the shop.
Martin Truex, right?
Yeah.
They did. And Mikey Waltrip, I mean, he slept on the couch as well. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of these guys did.
He slept at the Petty's house.
They didn't have a place to stay.
No.
They couldn't afford that,
No, they
and you were either sleeping in your car
Yeah.
or you were sleeping in a hauler or something.
And
You run a 100-foot extension cord out to the race hauler and you're sleeping out there. We know people that do that.
yes, we do. And it's not even a hauler. It's just a tag
It's not
along
even
trailer.
a hauler. It's just there's no tagging along because it's probably tires are flat. It's just basically it's just a box,
It's just a box, and that guy's not too far from the studio.
and he's not dragging that thing out to the racetrack every weekend either, with his furniture in it.
No, he's not. But
Good golly.
it's good to see Doug Coby back on the series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because to lose a driver of that stature, and on a series where the defending champion, he's 6-time champion.
Well, there's a perfect example.
Right.
That's a guy who's a real estate broker.
Right. Yeah.
That's what he does. I mean, so
He
he
does.
does the racing on the side,
Exactly. And at that.
or he does a real estate on the side. Whatever
Right.
he's got a side hustle.
He's got a side hustle, and he's one of those guys. Yeah, he races. I don't know what his deal was at MS3, and there was a lot of guys that drove for the top teams.
Yeah.
They all have some kind of a deal, but hey, now he's doing both ends.
Some kind of deal is like a pay deal, or as just whatever the deal might
In
be.
talking to some of the drivers along the years, over the years, I should say, some of them is
Expenses were paid.
I get my license, my
Right.
pit fee,
Yeah.
and the hardware. Okay. It's a labor of love, so to speak.
So you still got to get to the track.
Yeah. Some guys have this, hey, your deal is you get a percentage of the take, and you get so much for a pole, you get so much for a win, so much for a top 5. Every driver,
And
every
then some
owner has
guys,
something.
when you crash it, you got to fix it.
There you go. There you go.
So that's the other end of the coin there too. So think about that. If you were to go to a racetrack and rent a car, because a lot of these people, that's kind of what they're doing. Lack of a
Right.
better way to say it. And if we've been through this for years with
Yes, we
people
have.
that want TV shows, want to have their own TV show. And yeah, a chiropractor who wrote a self-help book from the Hamptons, he's going to be paying for a show.
Oh, without doubt.
I mean, it's what's the if Dale Earnhardt Sr. or Jr. came in here and wanted a show, it'd be a different story.
Ah.
But then how many bands are out there that want to play it?
It would be a way different show if Dale Earnhardt Sr. came on our show.
Oh, that would be. Then we'd have to have,
Just saying.
God would be here
You
as
know,
well.
he passed away. You know.
I
that.
know. Well,
Oh,
you know.
okay.
I went to say Junior, Senior comes right out of my head because I was thinking.
I shouldn't be laughing about that.
No, we shouldn't laugh about that. Anyway, the idea is that even bands, when they go out to play at a bar or something, they pay to play.
Exactly.
You've got to sell so many tickets or whatever the case may be. So if you rented a race car at a local track to do your thing, right, you'd have to pay for the car. When you damage the car, you'd still have to fix it. You'd have to set the car up anyway. You're probably going to want to put tires on the car if you're renting it. You still got to get there. You still got to get your pit fee. You still got everything else. So you have all the expenses. Maybe, you're renting the car for a small number, $300, $400, $500, $1,000, whatever, depending on the car. But you're still costing you to go out and do that. It's just like if you went out and played a round of golf.
Right.
I mean, of course, the car is going to cost you a lot more money than a round of golf, or how many people go offshore fishing? I used to do that.
Yeah.
It was a $500 bill. At the time, that was years ago, 20 years ago when I was shark fishing, it would be $500 for the boat to go offshore for the day. Now it's probably $1,000. I don't know. I haven't really been paying attention.
I went
haven't
once.
been shark fishing in a while.
I
But
went once, it was a few years back, and it was part of a corporate deal, so I had no idea what it cost, but it wasn't cheap.
But either way, if you're going to go somewhere, let's say, for example, you're going to be a traveling guy to go fishing, and you go to the Bermuda or the Bahamas to fish. You still got to get down there. You still got to pay for the boat. You still got to pay your expenses to get out there and do your thing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, it's like this, anything you do, whether you play golf, you go hunting, whatever it may be, there's a dollar and cent note to that, or ticket to that. So, like I said, being an owner driver, Doug, I wish you luck with that. I really do. Because now you have to look at everything. When you pull into the pits and you after practice say, I need 4 tires. No, now you're pulling in saying, I guess I got to get 4 tires.
Just give me 2. Just give me 2. I can't afford 4. Give me 2.
I mean, I know I had the opportunity, which fell through. We talked about on the show a couple of years back to drive on the tour, and my deal was I had to pay the hauler driver, fuel up the hauler, pay his way in, put minimum 4 tires. So I had to get a minimum 6 because, you're going to need right sides, and practice on old tires. And whatever I bent up,
you fixed.
I had to take a ride up to the northwesternmost part of Connecticut and participate in the repair.
Oh, participate in the repair.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And sometimes that participation could have been dollars and cents, but it was definitely my time, without a doubt.
Yeah, okay.
So it was more than just showing up on Saturday with
my
Hans device, my helmet, my racing gear.
Right. And again, if you were Dale Earnhardt Jr. or Senior, then you wouldn't be having to participate.
No,
it'd be a different story.
Yeah, exactly.
If you were a notable driver, not to say that you're not, but somebody,
Hey.
Again, it's all about return on investment.
Exactly.
And for a team, it's what kind of return on investment are we going to get? Are we going to come back with a bunch of damaged goods?
Yeah, and like we said last week, it cost Eric Sanderson with the Flamingo Motorsports, and who was nice enough to tell me the dollar and cent part. It cost me $200,000 to make 100 and win the champion.
Yeah.
I'm sure the two team spent that, if not more. But hey, good luck to Doug Coby.
Right. I mean, basically, you're buying it's a lot of money to get a championship.
Right.
It's still got $100,000 coming out of your pocket.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Anyway, we're going to take a break, and before we go, just again, good luck, Doug Coby, and your race team and Phil
Glad
Moran.
to see him back. I knew he was going back.
Glad to see you back, turning wrenches on that car, and then Phil, I don't know if you're watching, maybe you'll catch it in the archives, but Phil, you helped me out one time with a friend of mine who was running Thompson for the first day, first time in his life, and he set pole speed just from what you did for him. So you know what you're doing. Good luck, guys. We come back, we'll talk about Auto Club Speedway out in California, results there for the NASCAR Cup and the Xfinity Series when we come back.
Hey, what's up? Oh, I was going to say what's up for some reason. Hey, we're Set It Up, and you're watching the Inravio TV network.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE, your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hi there, this is Buddy from Less Than Jake, and you are listening to Inravio TV. You're probably watching it too.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Auto Club Speedway out in California, formerly known as the California Motor Speedway. Had some racing out there this weekend.
So let me ask you a question. What is Auto Club?
Auto
what
Club.
What are they selling?
Insurance, I believe.
Is that what it is?
I think so. It's like, what do they call it? The tow truck guys, AAA. Stuff like that. I think they're the same.
It'd be nice if they had something to tell you what the hell it is.
It's a club for autos.
That's what I'm
like
thinking.
The, Knights of Columbus.
Yeah, is it like do you put a hat on with wheels and wheels spin and a hat, or what do you do over there?
Fred Flintstone, he belonged to that lodge.
Right, the Water Buffalo Lodge.
Yeah, and they wore those hats.
The Water Buffalo.
Why do
Lodge.
I'm saying all, not all, all these groups and organizations.
Some of them have hats.
They have hats.
Well, could have been the Raccoon Lodge. Could have had the raccoon hat, the
that,
you know.
Exactly.
I don't know. Do they still do that? I think that's an old school thing.
That's the honeymoon is the Raccoon Lodge.
I know that, but that's an old school thing with the hats, right?
No. The organization I'm in, we have hats.
You really got a hat?
We have hats. Plumes with a plume.
Oh yeah.
Sword.
What organization is this?
I'm a fourth degree Knights of Columbus member.
Oh, Knights of Columbus. Yeah.
30 years, 34 years.
Right.
Yeah. And everybody knows my religion, which is supposed to be private. But Auto Club, it just came to me. Auto Club is AAA. Almost like what I said. Just came to me.
Almost like what you said.
Yeah.
Different, but same. All right, moving right along.
Anyway, before the cars hit the track at Auto Club, there was a couple of drivers that got their hands smacked.
Okay.
Ricky Stenhouse and Ryan Priest were dropped to the rear after L1 level penalties. Both cars were found to have illegal modifications to the front ends in an effort to change the airflow. Both teams' crew chiefs were ejected from the facility. Ooh, that's serious. And both teams will be docked 10 driver and 10 owner points for the infraction. Stenhouse's modification was so flagrant that they were not going to let him race at all.
Really? They don't tell you what it is, though.
They just call it a modification. And basically what it was to move some airflow from away from there, so that it gave it a little more downforce in the front.
Okay.
And that's a no-no. That's a no-no. And there's even teams that are doing decals and stuff to try to trick the lasers too, like reflective decals or pieces on the quarters that the colors are like kind of reflective. It's you know what? If you're making the big bucks as a crew chief, if you're not trying these things, if you're not pushing the envelope, you're not doing your job.
Yeah, if you don't get kicked out a couple times,
You
then
know?
I guess you're not making it happen.
A quick story about Tommy Ryan. Tommy Ryan was a racer and fabricator up here on Long Island. And
Well aware. He worked on my car.
yes, he did. He fixed my car just about every week for me. So he's working with Hendrick.
Right.
And this is a couple of years back, well, more than a couple.
This is when he started, you're talking about.
Yes.
The Terry Labonte years.
The Terry Labonte years.
Yeah.
And he noticed that there was no rule on how low the fuel cell had to be. No, like from the ground to the bottom of the fuel cell. So he goes, well, a lot of air is getting caught there. So he raised it. Just did it on his own. They go to tech. No good. You're in trouble. So they took their penalty. They took their hit. Monday morning, he shows up to work. Mr. Hendrick wants to see you in his office. He's ready to pack up his toolbox and go home. He thinks he's fired. No, Mr. Hendrick said to him, I need more guys like you that are innovative. Now, NASCAR made a rule, changed that week, giving height to the fuel cells. See, you got to push that in. And he wasn't even a crew chief. He was just a fabricator, and he kind of just did it.
Well, I know he made a change in a wind tunnel that basically helped Terry win the championship
Yes.
that first year he was with him. And I think he wound up getting a personal check from Terry Labonte for what he did to make that happen.
Yes, he did.
I wonder if he walked in there with a bottle of Jack Daniels in one hand and goes, can I make a change? He walked in there, bottle of Jack in one
He's
hand,
working on-
pulled the fender out with the other hand.
He's working on my, I'll never forget it. He had a place over here in Yeping. He's working on my car. Because I was wrecking a lot when I first started. And even when at the end, when I stopped racing,
You were still wrecking race cars, and you weren't even driving.
Race cars. And he's like on one knee, he's got the jack in his hand, and he's the old welding rod. The old thing that, you clipped on and you clipped on here.
The arc welder.
And he's like, oh, and this with the welder master. I'm like, I don't know. People tell me he's good. I didn't know him until that day.
He worked on my car. I know he worked on it beforehand, but we had a clip problem. He took the clip off and put a new clip on. And I remember he came to my shop and we were talking and the cruise around and he's doing his thing. And I said, Tommy, what do you think about? And you couldn't get him excited.
No.
There was no excitement there.
No.
Tommy, what do you think about if we did this? It's about 5 minutes worth of break. That could work. Nothing got him excited. I'm thinking, hey, Tommy, if we do this, we could buy. What do you think?
Right.
Silence.
Yeah.
That could work.
Yeah. But a long silence.
Long silence.
Yeah.
Like he didn't hear your silence. Like
Yeah.
you're going to repeat yourself. And you're just about to say it again. Yeah. And he's like, that could work.
That could. And that soft drawl. Mm-hmm. I think that could work. Like that.
Yeah. He was very soft. Good guy.
Yeah.
Good guy.
But anyway.
That's another good story. He had to borrow a car from somebody to go down to North Carolina for an interview to be on a team.
Yeah. And Bob O'Rourke said to him, why don't you cut your hair before you go? So he cut it a little bit. And he went to see, actually met with Rusty Wallace racing. Rusty Wallace directly says,
Was first
and says, I don't have anything for you, but Bob O'Rourke's a good guy. I told him I would talk to you. Let me make a couple of phone calls, and boom, next thing you know, he was in business.
Yeah. But then he was there for like a half a day.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, listen, he goes, you're too good to be here.
Right.
We're going to get you over here.
Yeah.
And he wound up getting him another job, even a better job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a good guy, and he's been there like ever since. Ever since.
Yeah. He knows his stuff, that's for sure.
Spent some time with DEI, and then when Dale Jr. went over to Hendrick, took Tommy with him. That's big. That's big. I wish somebody would take me with them.
If you're buying, I'll take you to the diner tonight.
I'm buying. I'm so poor I can't even pay attention. But anyway.
All right, so again, what do we got?
What do we got? We have Auto Club Speedway. Let's start with the Xfinity Series. And what happened there? Harrison Burton was the winner there. Riley Herbst second. Austin Cindric was third. Ryan Sieg was fourth. Justin Haley fifth. Antonio Alfredo was sixth. Daniel Hemrick seventh. Ross Chastain eighth. Jerry Clemens ninth. And Josh Williams rounding out the top 10. In the Cup, in the NASCAR Cup Series. The results went like this. Alex Bowman was the winner there, followed by Kyle Busch. Kurt Busch was third, Chase Elliott fourth, Brad Keselowski fifth, followed by Denny Hamlin, then Jimmy Johnson seventh, Eric Almirola eighth, Kevin Harvick ninth, and Eric Jones rounding out the top 10. There was a nice opening on the pace laps before the start of the race. The cars all lined up 5 wide, and Jimmy Johnson led the field. It'll be his last time at the Auto Club Speedway, as he's retiring at the end of the year. It was kind of fitting. It was kind of fitting.
Yeah, it was nice.
It's hard to believe that Jimmy Johnson is
Retiring already. Already, we say.
Already.
But he's like 1,000.
Yeah.
He's like, what? He's over the hill. He's like, what is he, 30?
Yeah. No, he's in his 40s, but.
But I got to say, both of those guys that won the Xfinity and the Cup, they are both good guys. And I'll tell you what, Burton, he was really whipping the field there for a while.
Yeah, he, without a doubt.
Really let him go.
It was.
I remember when Jimmy Johnson started. We're like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it
was
was
like
like
a long
Jeff
time
Gordon's
ago.
involved, and I'm like, where did this guy come from?
And like you said, like with Jeff Gordon when he came down, and he was a young kid that drove sprint cars. Nobody wanted to deal with Jeff Gordon. Who was this guy? And Dale Earnhardt Senior, the late Dale Earnhardt, used to intimidate him. But I think at the time, what that did is it brought NASCAR back in the fold, because there were no rivalries. The petty rivalry was with the Silver Fox there. It was over. That was done. The Cale Yarborough and Bobby Allison rivalry done. So there was nothing. They needed that. NASCAR needed that, and I'm being told that he was 44, Jimmy Johnson.
Really?
Yeah, 44.
He was.
I guess he still is.
He still is, right? Until next year.
Until he turns 45.
Until he turns 45. But man, I remember when he started. Has it been that long already? I mean, it
has been. It's not that he's a has-been. I'm saying it has been a lot of years. The words are not flowing tonight. That's what happens when you take a nap.
That's unbelievable. Wow, time is just slipping into the future, boy.
It is.
Crazy. That's quick.
It's slipping by. But
and you look at some of these new guys. I say new guys. They look like they're 12.
Right.
Look like, I hope this race doesn't go over, because this kid's got to be in bed for school tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
Can't be late for homeroom.
They get rained out. He's screwed. He's going to have to come at like study hall or something to race this race.
Yeah. It would be. Jimmy Johnson has been racing for
20 years.
So he's 24 when he started.
Wow.
Yeah, 24 when he started.
That was like a Jeff Gordon. And that was young back then.
Yeah, that was young. But now they're starting. They're young. They don't even drive on the street. They don't have a license, driver's license.
Yeah.
And it used to be that NASCAR, to drive in NASCAR at any level, even the weekly level, you had to have a driver's license. And that's
Well, they were
no
letting
longer.
you in the pits at 16, weren't they? Letting you race at 16?
Yeah, they're letting now.
Now are you down at? Now you're at like 14, right?
Yeah. Harrison Burton,
Harrison Burton is 19.
19 years old. It's incredible.
Now, which Burton is he related to?
All of them.
All of them. Well, all of the Burtons.
Ward Burton.
Who doesn't like Ward Burton? You can't understand what he says. Now, that's a race car driver. He gets out of the car, he's like,
whether it's his son or his nephew.
You couldn't understand him, but he was fun.
He talked like he had a chew of tobacco, Ward Burton.
He did.
Every driver, John, they on a tractor.
Now, what I got to say is, his brother Jeff, where'd he come from?
Same set of parents.
That's what I'm saying. So how,
I guess he went to better schools. I don't know.
he went to better schools.
Maybe the line from one school just went through the middle of the farm, and the father goes, Jeff, you're going to this one.
So
and
Jeff's
Ward,
his
you're on
father, and Ward is his uncle, and Jeb is his uncle.
Jeb, yeah. No, he's a nephew, Jeb. No. You're confusing them with those other guys.
What other guys?
Nemechek. The Nemecheks, they had, because, John Nemechek unfortunately passed away in a crash.
Yeah, there was
And
a lot
the
of
brother of
It's a family business. It
it's
really
a family
is.
business. Like if your mother's a nurse and you're a girl, you might become a nurse. All right, so Ward is his uncle, Jeb is his uncle, and Jeff is the
his
father.
Right.
Google is a wonderful thing.
Of Harrison. Now,
Harrison, right.
Of Harrison. So
So they are related.
yeah, but you see, you have a lot of that. But now with these new kids coming in, you really don't have a lot of that.
No, you don't. No.
It's like, where did this kid come from? Who is this?
No. Yeah.
I mean, you got Bill's kid.
Yep.
So you still have some of the kids coming in there.
Right. And Jeff and Ward, as we said,
Of
are
course,
brothers.
Jeff and Ward are brothers,
They're
but they were
brothers.
on two different sides of the track.
Yeah.
Something happened.
I'm telling you, the school district line went right through the middle of the house, and Jeff's bedroom was on the good school district.
Jeff was born in the kitchen,
Exactly.
and Ward was burned out in the field. He was born out in the field.
I'm thinking that's what happened. He quit racing to go back to driving tractors.
Ward
and I'm not
did.
talking tractor trailers. I mean on a farm.
On the farm, Ward did. Yeah.
Good thing he had something to fall back
Yeah, he
on.
went back to the farm and he's hunting and he's got a whole.
Yeah.
He's got a whole thing now. It's a foundation.
Yep.
For hunting, I think, and
Oh, without a
stuff.
doubt. Without a doubt.
I miss him. It's an ecology
Hey,
foundation.
guess who just logged in?
Ward
Doug
Burton.
Coby.
No, we were just talking about you.
We were just talking about Doug Coby.
You missed it by like 5 minutes.
Doug, we talked some good, serious stuff about you. So pick up in the archives and watch the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And again, good luck to you. We want to wish you good luck in your endeavor. I knew there was something that was in. Well, Chuck knew there was something. He said there's
I
something
knew
going
something was
on.
going on. Come on.
I had my doubts. Not because you're not a talented driver, because you are a talented driver, and I don't think there was anybody out there who could afford you. But
I knew he was gonna make it happen. So yeah, somehow or another, he was gonna be driving.
Yeah, without a
Absolutely, that's a given.
doubt. Whatever. Anyway, we got to take a break. We got to try to stay on schedule today, so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the new Gen car that'll be out in 2021. When we come back.
Hi, I'm Remington.
I'm Emerson.
And I'm Sebastian.
We're Palais Royale, and you're watching Inravio TV.
There we go.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Hey, this is Chris Less Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Hi, this is Mike Jarecki from My Race News, and you're watching the Inravio TV network.
Hey guys, this is Jibs from Ocean's 8 Alaska, and you're watching Inravio TV network.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the show, the big show.
Yes. So, NASCAR. NASCAR stands for the National Association of Stock Car Auto Racing. The next gen car in 2021 is anything but stock. Anything but stock. They're going to move to a single lug nut design in 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like a Formula One.
Like the Formula One. The next gen car due out in 2021 will also have independent rear suspension, both on replacement front end and rear clips. The car we see today will be obsolete. You'll see a hybrid engine that regenerates energy into horsepower, similar to Formula One. So it's no longer, if you win on Sunday.
I can't bring my Toyota Corolla out there and race.
The Corolla's not racing. It's not racing. It's not racing anytime soon.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's.
That's a big move. I wonder if that's further away or closer to where they want to be.
This is
or
what
where
I'm
they
thinking.
should be, I guess.
This is how I look. My take. You already have trouble filling the fields. So all these cars and all these parts that teams have accumulated over the years are junk.
Or gone.
I mean, I'm sure some of these teams.
Well, now that's only on the in the
cup level, right?
So everything else is still going to filter down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, there's still some series out there that would still run. Well, they do run the cup type cars.
Yeah.
So
But
I
for how
mean,
long?
good question. But I would say probably for quite a while. I can't see them going to that whole. I don't mean on a NASCAR level. There are other divisions. You got you're like the lesser divisions that run lesser motors, but they run old Cup cars, and Xfinity cars.
Yeah.
So maybe that's going to be a lot of cars out there.
I mean,
I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, not that NASCAR cares what Joe has to say, but this is a mistake.
They didn't care what you say when you were working there. So.
Well, it's funny because they wanted. That's what they wanted. That's what they want.
Yeah.
And what's happening now, and again, no,
They want a soldier.
They wanted soldiers. And what's happening now is the guys in the corporate ivory tower making these decisions never built them, never raced them, never wrecked them, never put them back together to go racing again. They're sitting at let's look at the report. Somebody has a little PowerPoint presentation,
But where are they getting this information from? They got to be coming up with this from somewhere. Don't they poll the teams? And you think?
No. Hey, I'm back in my day when I was the race director on the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, we would meet with key owners, the Bob Garparinos, guys like that, the Barneys.
The select sixes.
Yeah, Brad LaFontaine, although he was not an owner, he supplied the part. He was the Dennis of Oval Speed of Long Island. He was the parts guy for the Modified Tour. The Caheelys, when they had Hirschman driving for them. We met with key owners, and we tried to make decisions based on their input. Those days are done.
Well, that's a bad thing. You need to get everybody's input in order to keep them in the loop, because that's how you're going to get them on board to do these things.
Yep.
And with the fuel injection, and then you've got all the independent rear, and you're moving further and further away from a different type of a car now. You're getting closer to the Formula Ones and to other different forms of racing. So basically, it's going to be like Formula One with a body.
Exactly. Yeah.
And at what point,
It was like when NASCAR years back with the old Busch series, they went with the six-cylinder. The six-cylinder. All the six-cylinder was a V8 would cut back, and it did not work. It did not work, and then they went with the lesser horsepower V8s, lesser than the Cup series. But you're building race cars, or you're asking your teams to build race cars that you're going to put teams out of business. There's no question in my mind you're going to put teams out of business.
That's a lot of money to invest.
I mean, if somebody came to your house and said, okay, listen, the whole kitchen's got to go, got to
Yeah.
go. That living room set, get rid of it. Your 70-inch TV, throw it in the canal. Now you have to buy this. Oh, wait, you don't have the electric for that, so now you have to rip out your electric
Yeah, right.
and start all
Exactly.
over.
All right, now what you're doing here, see everything you're doing? Stop everything you're doing. Let's just bulldoze all of this into the backyard.
Yeah.
And let's start again.
Yeah,
And that's what they're kind of doing.
That's-
So basically they can keep the hauler.
yeah, yeah.
Just take everything out of it,
Take
but they
everything
can
out
keep
of
the
it.
hauler.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, and I know I said a few weeks
Now
back.
wait, did this come up? Because I know this was the topic of conversation with the whole, put the air hose in the back bumper and have the whole car come up in one shot instead of having a jackman.
No, you know what happened with that is
That'll be next year.
somebody, well, at least in the modified series, somebody that had a couple extra shekels, like, with a lot of zeros, showed up with one. And I remember being in the NASCAR Whelen, and I said, what is that? And old man, Mr. Bryce, said, there's nothing in the rules that says they can't do that. So I said, well, in the next 3 weeks, you're going to have probably 8 or 10 more teams going to have those, because if the winning team goes out and takes a sugar bowl and pours it in their gas tank
Everybody's
and
gonna do
wins,
it.
everybody's going to do that. It's monkey see, monkey do.
Oh, I'm well aware of that.
But I don't know. I just think that the guy sitting in that ivory castle up there around the table, and don't be surprised if NASCAR doesn't own a piece of some of the companies that they have
That is selling the parts.
That is selling the parts.
And you got to buy these parts from this guy. I
Right.
mean, like the noses that they're selling.
Yeah.
Well, somebody here says, Jonathan is saying that the car of tomorrow, they had to change the haulers
Because they didn't fit.
because they didn't fit.
Right, they had to retrofit them. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they could use the hauler itself, but the cars did not fit. Yeah. Can you imagine?
No.
Throw away everything you have, build all new, and then it's all built, and you roll it out of your shop, back the hauler in, put it, and it doesn't fit.
You're going to have guys showing up at the local track with their four-cylinder, street stock and a $9 million hauler.
I mean,
They'll have like 100 of those things in there, like Pez, and they'll just be popping them out every time they crash one.
I mean, I had an enclosed trailer, and my daughter wrecked one night so bad that we're trying to, and we knew it was bent a little bit. We were putting it in, and the front right bumper was all the way against the wall on the right side, and the Nerf bar was sticking out this much on the other side. It was a U. The race car was.
So you just put the car on its side and slide it in.
I'm like, I should have just towed it to Gershaw. Is what we, So one of the guys there towed it back to the shop for me, and they ended up going to Chris Chirico, who built it originally, and he put it all back together.
Wow.
Yeah, but you think about these cars, and even it's going to a 6-speed manual transmission. No, pretty soon they're going to be automatics, but a 6-speed.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that to happen.
I said a couple of weeks ago that some of the chassis technology that NASCAR was using goes back to the late '60s. The rear end housing,
the truck arms,
the truck arms. It was a little old, but it worked. It worked. And you went with the longer, like you said, the truck arms, the rears, the ring and pinion, that they're running, not like the modifieds, with the quick changes.
Quick change rears, yeah.
I remember being in Jack Roush's shop, and there had to be a room. When I say this room, it was like going to a liquor store and looking at bottles of wines. That's the rear ends that they had. I'm like, and on them it was written which tracks. And it was like, these are the rears for this track, these are the rears for that track.
Oh, yeah.
I was
It's the same thing with the motors. It's just this shelves and shelves of everything that's ready to go for each track.
Yeah.
And backups.
Oh, and there's backups for the backups, and there's cars in different stages of assembly. But, they have to be starting to work on these cars now. Because they don't
Yeah, but
just
now,
have 2 cars.
think about all those rooms and all those shelves and all that stuff that's got to come off of that. It's got to get
Gone.
It's going.
It's a waste. It's just, I don't think it's a good deal. But
That's a big chunk of change. I don't know how that's going to happen.
you know, and it's happening.
We'll see what happens with the team.
Right.
Somebody's
And-
going to say something.
And there's a trickle down, like you said, you know, in a good way. But what's happening is it's going to work there. Now they're going to go back to the Xfinity, which is the next level, and they got to make their changes there. The truck series, and they're going to have their situations, and they're going to be making big changes. Then go to the touring series. They're going to have all kinds of big changes, and
It's going to trickle down.
it's going to trickle down.
So not only is the old stock going to trickle down, but then changes are going to trickle down too.
Yeah.
And how is that going to help anybody with the money? They're trying to keep the cost down to
Right.
keep the teams in business. It doesn't sound like the cost is being kept down there.
And when you're not sending cars home, and I know that you don't want to send cars home. You don't want to do that.
No,
But
you don't.
don't want to have a short field either.
You don't want to have a short field, but at the same token, at what point, you know, getting further away from stock,
Right.
and we're getting into the whole, you know, what modified became in the first place.
Right. You know, the old movie Days of
You
Thunder
know?
with Tom Cruise. He's sitting with his crew chief, Harry Hyde. And he goes, I'm driving stock cars. And Harry goes, son, there's nothing stock about a stock car.
Right.
And
It's supposed to be, but
it's
there ain't.
supposed to be. You know, like back in the days, back in the 60s and the 50s, and they brought them at the dealership and they put safety stuff on
Well,
them.
so what they need to do is rename the series the Grandmaster Series or something.
Master Series, right?
Yeah.
Because NASCAR isn't National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing anymore. It's the National Association
The Modified Auto
of
Racing.
Super Cars, something. It's like, you know, I'll figure out something.
So it's NASMAR.
NASMAR or something, you know. I mean, we should just call it FAR.
Well, what they probably should have did, and I was thinking about this, why don't they put, you know how they got on airplanes, right? They got the flaps.
Yep.
They should have flaps on the race cars that when these things start getting airborne, they can bring them back down on the track,
There you go.
right?
Yeah.
Bring the flaps up. Down.
Flaps up. Or if a guy's going too fast and it's not his turn to win, like the little, like when you're doing go-karts.
Not his turn to win.
You retard the motor a little bit. Because if you don't think that nonsense goes off.
No, wait a minute. Let me tell you this. Does Hulk Hogan come off the ropes and all of a sudden
Yeah.
win the match? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm gonna share a story with and
Oh, no.
I can't see
Go ahead.
if Doug is still watching. And it has to do with Doug. True story.
Uh-oh. Doug, beat it now.
The modified touring series is at the New London Waterford Speedbowl in Connecticut. Doug races in an SK modified there. That's
Okay.
their top feature division there. Doug wins. Now I'm up in the tower because we're going to be next, and my job unofficially pre-race is to push them along so we start on time. So the manager or promoter of the racetrack is up there, and the checker flag drops. Doug Coby's first car across the line. He's upset because he wanted his local guy to win.
Was that Beamer? Beamer?
No, before Beamer. I'm not going to mention his name. You know, I guess he might have had people that he was answering to. You never know.
Right.
So
So he wanted his local guy to win.
he says, Doug can't win this race. So they put the car in impound, the top 5, and Doug hops into the tour mod, goes out there. I don't remember where he finished, and they waited long enough for the air to kind of go out of his tires, because they run tubeless.
You just raced, yeah.
Next thing you know, the announcer announces, Doug Coby's SK car, the winner of the SK Mountain feature tonight, has been disqualified for being 1/8 of an inch too low.
1/8 of an inch.
They waited an hour and a half. The car sat there for an hour and a half. Instead of checking. They don't need Doug to check the car.
He's got a broken shock. Lift the bumper up.
Come on. So stuff like this happens. And I remember when I first became an official, I was so naive. And this wasn't for NASCAR, it was for a local racetrack. And we're sitting around after warm-up day or something. I was just sitting there and we're talking about who do we like for each series. Who do you think's going to? It was like a pool. And we put our money in, whoever wins.
Okay. All right.
And I mentioned the name. I He said, it's not his turn. I thought I misunderstood because I'm a little deaf. I said, what? It's not his turn. Well, whose turn is it? We have a listing of names. It's their turn? Well, because we could control the outcomes of who's going to be the champion. And then I saw that happen with Roger Roxy when he was running against Buzzy Erickson at Riverhead in late models. And a certain individual was controlling tires, and Roger won the race. But the point battle was so close. All of a sudden, Roger had to soak tires and altered tires. So not only did he not get that win, but he got 0 points.
So he didn't win the championship either.
So he couldn't win the championship. So the following week was a 50-lap double pointer, and Roger actually had the flu. The plan, if he had not
had the flu,
he was going to have somebody take over. He was going to take the green. He gets the points. First caution, go in.
right?
And because he had the tire infraction, he had to start last. No matter what, he could have said pole time. He's starting last.
Starting last because of the infraction. So now what he should have did was get the guy who he was in.
Well,
should have got Buzzy Erickson to drive his car for him.
He won the race. He won the race.
He drove it and won it.
Started last. When he got out of the car, he collapsed. The ambulance. Guys had to come. So there's a lot of, I'll say, politics.
Favoritism.
You without a doubt.
Is that why I was always this close?
Yeah. We're this close to coming to the last part of our show. So
there you go.
When we come back, we're going to have some more chat about racing and what goes on and what's up and coming in 2020 when we come back.
Village Music Shop of Mastic. 1-800-HEY-DUDE. Your full-service store with personalized attention, school band instrument rentals and sales, music instruction on all instruments for all styles and age groups, for guitars, drums, amplifiers, PA systems, and accessories. It's Village Music Shop, 1495 Montauk Highway in Mastic. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE or go to villagemusicshop.com.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Merch Whelen. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you get punched in the But if you have this bracelet from Inravio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
What's up, guys? This is Assuming We Survive, and you're watching Inravio TV Network.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. So we just talked about that promo there with the advertising on the internet. The internet, the interwebs, as they say, back in the old. And boy, I'll tell you, it's changed a lot because those numbers, even though since that was made, everybody's on the internet now.
Everybody.
So
Even me, I'm not computer suave.
Most people, it's amazing to see, people our generation and even older that are connected. They got smartphones. They're on the internet all the time.
Yeah.
And that's where the advertising needs to be done. So if you have something to advertise,
come talk to us.
Yeah, give us a message or something. Shoot us a message, and we can talk. I mean,
because we do have a plan that'll
that.
fit your budget.
Are we getting the fingers? 4 fingers.
Oh, I thought we were getting the finger.
No, not yet. We're getting close.
But we do. We have an advertising plan that'll fit your budget, and become a marketing partner with us, and we can help you grow your business, because it's all about impressions. The more that people see that your logo, your name, your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you go say, hey, I saw it on Inravio, when you go visit that store or that business, And no business is like, a bad business. Well, I guess we wouldn't get into the drug business.
Well, see, this show is unique because not only does it have, by the time the week is over, replays and things like that, there's over 20,000 views on this show.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's awesome. But and we appreciate you guys, boy, watching. It's we can't do without you. And but and I tell people this too. We have fans. But a lot of the people that are watching are the people that are turning the wrenches. They're the drivers, the team owners. They're the nuts and bolts people of racing, whether it's NASCAR or drag racing. All the racing folk that watch. They're the people that are behind the scenes.
Right.
Not a lot of fence grabbers. We have them as well.
Yep.
But ultimately these are all people that are in that racing family.
Right.
So if you have you're selling tires or mufflers or exhaust pipes or whatever the case may be, a racing part or even a racing series.
Yeah.
You have a racing series that you want to promote, this is the place to be because these are the people that are going to make that decision.
Right.
It's not like you're talking to fans that you might have 1 or 2 out of 1,000 fans. You may have 3 or 4 people that can actually would buy a car and come race in your series.
Exactly.
Or buy a part.
Right.
Whether it's
we have. I would say between 85 and 90% of our viewers are from the New York metropolitan area. But we have people in the Carolinas. We have people that drive in the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, and their crew members who watch the show. We've had crew members from Cup Series call us live and talk to us. We had Frankie Bonsignor, that one, Tony Urbina, with Stuart Haas.
We had John Farino, who is on Denny Hamlin's crew.
Yeah,
they won, obviously, 3 Daytona 500s.
Yep.
So yeah.
So we're not down in the garage with the towels on the bottom of the door to keep the cold out. We're in the professional studio, and those of you who've been on our show live at this desk know what we do here and what we put out. So come aboard. Just let us know. Like I said, there's no.
We have something to fit your budget. If you have something to promote, we have something to fit your budget.
Yeah.
And whether it's even, and I tell people this, if I was still racing and I needed to get more exposure for my race team, for the sponsors on my race team, why not pay to do it? Exactly. Because you're going to get more money out of them.
Exactly.
You can only, and I had this discussion with people that have racetracks. If you only get 5,000 people come, and I'd say only, if you only get 5,000 people max that come to your racetrack to watch a race, well, you know what? You can only charge X number of dollars to whoever it is, Pepsi, Coke, Miller Lite, whatever, whoever it is. You can only charge them so much money. But if you get more exposure for them, by being on this show with a race, report or whatever you want to do, or a pit report, or, even a shop report for a race team. You get more exposure. Now you can charge more money.
Yeah.
So you're not losing all the money by paying it for advertising. No. You're gaining money to run your team. Exactly. It's a business, and you have to think of it that way.
But anyway, guess we're going to wrap this one up.
Wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up.
I think we're done.
So I want to thank everybody for taking time out of the busy schedules tonight to
Absolutely.
view. We had some surprise viewers on tonight.
We certainly did. We had a lot of heavy hitters here. I mean, even Joe here.
Yeah, he's always on.
Jay Slice.
Jay Slice is always on. And I want to thank Doug Coby for logging in and checking us out tonight too, as he prepares to go to South Boston for the modified opener in with his new team. So I want to say goodnight to everybody. Thank you again, everybody. It's been a pleasure. We have a lot of fun with you guys, and I know there's a lot of things you could be doing on a Monday night, but for that hour, starting to be 7:15, 8:15, we appreciate it.
Absolutely. And whatever you do this weekend, if you're racing, if you're working on cars, be safe.
Have a good night, everybody.
Wrap it up.
Inravio.com.